What's up, YouTube? Keeping it a Benji, and I'm getting back with y'all. Now, first and foremost, when it comes to this video that we're gonna be reacting to, I feel like it's very much a sensitive topic. You know, it's pretty much about like some Mexican stuff, some black stuff. So I'm gonna make it out. I'm gonna make this statement to say that we don't represent no racism. We don't stand for it. We don't promote it. We don't agree with it on no type of stance from nobody's point of view. We don't represent none of that. You feel me? So if you're gonna join in on this in the comments or however it go, make sure you be very respectful to all races involved. So thank y'all for tuning in. I ain't gonna hold y'all up. I'm finna chime in and let's just start doing our reaction. Come on.
What we have going on today is a video of Charleston White over on St. Cheese saying that Mexicans will never blow up. Now check this out. I know the last video I did of Charleston White, I sort of said I like the guy, but I go based on video by video, right? So one video I might like what he says, the next video I might not. It all depends on the content of the video, and people need to.
Now see, the statement that he made pertaining to Charleston White saying that a Mexican might not never be big in hip hop or rap or whatever, I don't know the answer to that because that's an answer that only the future know. You know what I mean? Only God know. I really don't know. So I can't say if they're gonna be a supreme star or they won't make it. Me personally, I don't know. So I don't have no, you know what I mean, opinion about that. But when he started trying to say that, yeah, he was saying that he liked Charleston White previously in one of his videos, but now he's trying to clear that air by trying to say that he judged him video for video. But the thing is, you gotta judge a person for their character off the rip. You know, you can't like what a person is saying just because it fits your narrative, you know, and then when they say certain things that you don't agree with, all of a sudden you don't like them. You know, I just feel like it was cool when Charleston White do all the bashing he do towards black people and what, you know what I mean, other races, stuff like that. Then I feel like when it comes to a Mexican or however he's speaking towards Mexicans or about Mexicans, now he's feeling like he don't like him so much. But if you're gonna judge a person off their character, judge them off their character. Charleston White, he's a disrespectful guy. I don't see him picking and choosing with it. He'll say whatever he want to say about this race, this gender, that gender, you know, this age, that age. He doesn't care, which it is what it is. But I'm going to always keep my stance on Charleston White. He say a lot of things I feel like he shouldn't say. I feel like his approach is very much crazy, but I'm never going to take away from the points that he do make in some of his statements or his rants. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say like he's just a total moron or an idiot, because he do make sense. And I'm going to always say that, and I always say that when it comes to Charleston White. You feel me? The same way like Milk was giving Charleston White all his credit. And then the next thing, he got at Milk 7-4. Then all of a sudden, Milk 7-4 don't want to be Team Charleston White anymore. So you got to watch these people that act like they like an individual when they saying stuff that suits them, but when they say stuff that's against them or stuff that they don't want to hear, then all of a sudden that person ain't they not eligible for that praise that they was giving them before. Come on.
Understand that, right? Like, I don't know these people. I'm probably never going to meet them. So however or whatever I think of them on a video-to-video basis is where it ends, right? With no further ado, let's watch this video. Charleston White says that Mexicans will never blow up. Let's go and give you a Southsider reaction. Let's go.
Now, Texas rap is in a weird space.
It's going down.
I don't want to say weird, but it's in a different space. You got some of the hottest rappers in Texas right now are Mexican. You got D-Baby in Houston. You familiar with him?
Yeah, they can't say nigga though. See, Mexican rappers won't never be big in the black culture because they can't say nigga and get accepted.
That was my next question. So look, then you got.
Hold on, before we continue to watch, I'll tell you like this. It sounds like they're hating already. It sounds like they both hate Charleston White and Sean Cotton. It sounds like they're hating, homie.
OT, he's on Say Cheese.
Now, that's his opinion. He's entitled to it. But me personally, I don't see where the hating from Say Cheese or Charleston White, I don't see that part in that statement that they made. You know, I feel like they just spoke on their beliefs. And I agree with that. Because being from any other race outside of being a black person, it's never 100% agreed on for another race to say that N-word. You feel me? So if you get in that music and you using that N-word or however it go, and you a different race, then of course you won't reach a higher potential because a lot of black people ain't gonna buy that for their kids. So a lot of black people ain't gonna let their kids listen in the car, listen to that music in the car. You know, some black people ain't gonna listen to it themselves. That's just the truth. But it still will be a strong black population of people that will co-sign it or be okay with the music long as it's great. And they don't care if a person saying that N-word. So I feel like that was just pretty much a true statement from their belief. I don't think that was hate.
Mexican dude, really creative. I actually like him. He's hard. I like D-Baby too. But what do you think about Mexicans saying the N-word? Is it cringy to you, or
They can't say it. Why a Mexican want to be nigga? Cause when he go to jail, he can't say it. When the Mexican go to jail, he can't nigga. S.A. them don't let him nigga. Nowhere in the world do they. So when he give it to real people, so why would he want a nigga in the music? When he go to jail, him and his nigga friends can't be real nigga friends in jail. And that's
Why are you comparing music to streets to prison? I don't like motherfuckers that do that, bro. It's like, get your old ass out of here. Who's talking about prison? Whoever brought up prison? These are entertainers. OT, Mexican OT. Does it look like that fat motherfucker's gonna go to prison anytime soon? I don't think so. D-Baby. Does it look like he gonna go to prison? I don't think so. So why you trying to compare prison to the streets? You sound like a clown, homie.
Now, the reason why I feel like Charleston White is comparing the prison to the streets when it comes to Mexican culture is because Mexican culture is pretty much ran from the prison. You know what I'm saying? They got the final say so on what goes on with Mexican culture. That's just how it go. It's always been that way, you know, because Mexicans, they have like this grasp on their own people. That's just how they run they campaign. They very structured, they organized, they just run their course how they do. So what Charleston White is saying is, at one point, it's okay to be down with the N-word in the black culture, but then on the other hand, it's not okay to be down with the black culture or to use the N-word. You feel me? So he's just saying, if it's gonna be okay and all Mexicans gonna start like loving black culture and respecting black culture and participating in black culture, then let's keep it one way. But if we're gonna have some that's like very much anti and then some for it, then hey, don't be cool with me in my face right now in these streets, but when shit hit the fans and we end up behind these bars or whatever the case may be, you pretty much can't even view me as a friend anymore. You know? So we can't be that much of a together or unified, you know, if y'all catching the drift. That's just my take about that part.
so.
And mind you, Swifty Blue came out a while ago and started speaking out about how he don't want to sign with no black record label. A lot of Mexicans didn't have a problem with it. A lot of Mexicans probably had a problem with it. A lot of black people had a problem with it. A lot of black people understood it. But he said he wasn't going to sign with no blacks, just because his politics and his people behind them walls. That was his belief. So it's like, I just feel like we can't be so upset when people express their true feelings about their belief. We can't beat nobody up to try to carry the same belief that we carry. That's just the truth in the matter. I just feel like dude is getting too upset behind Charleston White and Say Cheese having a regular conversation.
Why not just go be essay? Don't you think you sell more music as essay to your people? Why you want to rap like the niggas? Why you want to take on the nigga culture? Don't you know if you rap in Spanish and make that shit look cool and fly, you got Mexico. You got a whole, come on, my nigga.
A whole country.
Come on, why y'all?
This fool sound ignorant as hell, bro. Right? Saying that Mexicans want to be black. Why they stealing black culture? I guarantee you I'm going to have a bunch of black brothers down below agreeing. Listen, it's a hard one because I don't say the N-word at all. I never have. Not even joking around. It's not my culture, right? Not only is it not my culture, it's not my era. Okay, the era that's here now, they're sort of intertwined with the black culture, right? They look alike, they talk alike, they live alike, and it also depends where you come from. Where I come from, we don't have a lot of blacks as like neighbors. We might have a few, and they're homies, but we don't really have like the homies in South Central, the homies in Compton that are like really, really all around other races, right? So I can't say that's not their culture because they live around them. They're around them all day. They see them. They live with them. They're right next door to each other, right? I can say that might as well be their culture, right? And vice versa. If the blacks wanted to say Mexican is part of their culture, they eat tacos. That's part of their culture, right? It's part of the Mexican culture, but they eat tacos. They might do a couple of things that Mexicans done first. It goes both ways, homie. Like, where this motherfucker's gonna get it through their head that all this, it's mine, it's mine, it's mine. It don't work. It don't work. Now,
the only reason why I believe that he's taking that stance against the whole mine campaign from any culture is because he know in his heart that more Mexicans want to be black as opposed to blacks wanting to be Mexicans. That's just the truth in the matter. Because black people are like the way. They the culture. I mean, they are the sports. They're the athletes. They are like the fashion. They are music. When you see a person that's doing what majority of this generation Hispanic do, they got that from a black person. You know what I'm saying? People like OGZ carry themselves like a black person. And me personally, I'm not disrespecting that. I don't have no problem with that. I just feel like keep it respectful. If you like a person culture, honor them people and respect them people. Not saying that a Mexican got to put themselves behind or under a black person. Mexicans got their own shit. But respect blacks all around the board. And you can't be mad if other black people are offended behind somebody borrowing or stealing or being fascinated with their culture. They have that right because that's their culture, even if it was vice versa. But you can't compare the two because if a person like a taco, they like a taco. Tacos don't represent Mexicans. That's not a I can't even say the word, derogatory, but it's not disrespectful towards a Mexican. The N-word, on the other hand, it has a real past pertaining to it. So it's like depends on where you come from and what age you brought up, your age and how you brought up. You might have nothing but negative thoughts pertaining to the N-word. You feel me? That N-word is a part of pain, suffering, struggle, a lot when it comes to black people. So whether they choose to call each other that word or overlook it amongst each other, that's their right. But that don't mean that they gonna accept that or be okay with that from another race. You feel me? Now, me myself, I will say it's kind of like a case by case situation, because me personally, and I'm not saying that I'm right for having these beliefs, but I'm just saying these are my beliefs, and everybody entitled to their own. But if you are from like a black founded gang, which will be like a Crip, Pyru, Blood, Hoover, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I don't have that much of a problem with you saying the N-word, you know? Because I feel like you die with your blacks, you ride with your blacks, you sit around here and you share love with blacks, you break bread with blacks. These is your brethren. So I would never want to make you feel like you're not a part of this when you kind of are a part of this to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't have a problem going to do something to your people when it comes to this shit that we represent, you know? So I would never be like kind of petty about it, like, oh, you can't say this, you can't say that. But I would always tell a person, be mindful on what room you in, because everybody don't care for it, you know? Everybody's not even going to try to hear it or understand it. And that's why I give respect to a person like Milk 74. And who else was it, man? I think it might have been like 1090 Jake or something like that. But they was both coming out saying stuff about how they used to say the N-word, then they kind of got corrected on it. And I think that was like Milk and China Mac, right? Both of them came from a place to where they used to say the N-word, and then they start seeing how other people take it, and they put that out of their vocabulary just out of respect. And I respect that because I believe that China Mac run with a lot of blacks. I'm not really sure about like his whole community background. And I do know he interact with a lot of blacks and participate in hip hop and rap. And the same for Milk 74. Milk 74 is from a black founded gang. He's from a black community, grew up in a black community. So if he could respect that himself, and he's pretty much a walking black guy with white skin from an opposition perspective, or somebody who, you know what I mean? Then a Mexican person that's not even a part of that black culture, a black founded gang, or growing up in a black community, then you should be willing to respect that the same way a person like Milk or China Man can respect that. You feel me?
It does not work. It's like, you know how goofball you look? First claiming about, like, put it like this. Oh, racism. But when a motherfucker is over there giving you props, oh, it's our shit. Don't look like me. Don't talk like me. Don't do this. Don't do that. So what you want? Which one is it? Which one is it? Because motherfuckers showing you love, you know, might say their pets like you, you know, might say the N-word like you, and all of a sudden, it's don't fuck with us. But when motherfuckers don't fuck with you, all of a sudden it's racism and all this extra shit. And I'm not talking about all the black homies, bro, because a lot of black homies know what time it is. I'm talking about all the little goofies that never been outside, that don't know what time it is, but they think they do because they watch dudes like this. That's what I'm talking about. So if you're in the comments running your mouth, you probably just like this guy, and you probably never been outside, and you probably never intermingle with Mexican.
And you know what? Let me elaborate on this a little bit more too. Black people are very impactful, and they have a presence in everything. So when you growing up or whatever you watching or you viewing, you learning from black people. So you will become the stuff that you watch if you intrigued by it. You know what I mean? So it's not as much of like black people can take that from Mexicans with their presence in that aspect. You know, they not on every TV and every music and all this, and the third. But black people do respect and do try to follow some of Mexicans' beliefs. You know, that's like more of a like behind door, like it's hard to explain that to a person. Like, you got to be in certain type of rooms to understand what I'm saying with that. But just to say like from a street perspective, a lot of black people do respect Mexicans with their unity and how they care for each other, family, 20 in the house, 10 in the car, have each other back, love each other, push shit to the side when it comes to fucking with each other. Like, you know, people do admire that when it comes to Mexicans for sure. You know what I mean? Whether it's just because they not running around here being like, you know, they don't have a presence to where we could kind of like take something from like their presence of what they doing. But people do respect a lot of shit and do try to base some of their teachings off of stuff that Mexicans stand for first. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna give them their credit on that too. The same way black Mexican, however, gotta keep it a Benji.
And you probably never lived next to a Mexican or even got a Mexican friend. And those, my guy, are facts.
I wanna come be nigga. And when you go to jail, you got to kill nigga. You got to fight nigga. You got to stab nigga. You can't feed nigga.
And you don't fight Mexicans? And you don't stab Mexicans? Come on, bro, like, shut the fuck up. This shit gets annoying, bro. It's war. When it's war, it's not even about like, oh, he's black. No, something happened. It didn't work out, so now we gotta fight. But if everything's dandy, then there's no fight. Bro, come on, bro. Like, why is it gotta be about prison, though? Like, why? Why is it gotta be about, who the fuck brought up prison? They're talking about entertainment and music. How did it go to prison? Because an old dusty motherfucker started to bring up prison. That's why. A guy that's not gang related, that couldn't hang in the streets, wants to talk about prison. A guy that never lived that life only for 15 seconds. He talking about Mexicans that got more money than him. D-Baby. That fat fucking Mexican, OT, whatever. They got more money than this guy. And they probably always will. And he talking about prison. That show.
Now, that's where it goes left again, to where a person putting their personal feelings out there so much that they can't even be logical with what's going on. Everybody's been keeping up with Charleston White. Charleston White got that bag. I'm not really familiar with the two Hispanic dudes that dude brought up, but I think one of them I seen they was like doing something back on Fig, the fat OT dude and stuff like that. I think I seen him sitting down with a LA Icon or something, but I didn't really watch no interviews. I don't keep up with them, and so I don't know what they playing with as far as their money. But I feel like that's just not a true statement, because we don't know the truth. We don't know who got more money between them two or Charleston White, and that's not a true statement to say that they're gonna probably always have more money than Charleston White, because Charleston White definitely is getting that bag. People are very much giving him that bag to come talk that stuff he talking in them interviews and on them podcasts. You feel me? People are definitely paying Charleston White to show up to certain shows and places like that. Just being 100, I can't lie. And, you know, he just, if I'm not mistaken, I think he just got another big bag from Rock Nation for them to use his likeness through a Say Cheese interview for Lil Uzi Vert. That's pretty big, man.
Look at that fool's mentality, bro.
You can't feed nigga. The Mexican not even bringing the dope over here, giving it to the niggas no more. Why you want to be nigga? We used to have a good relationship, nigga. They bring the dope over here. They didn't know how to cook the dope. We cooked the dope. Come on now.
You're not in the streets to know any of that. So what is you talking about, civilian? Don't be talking about streets and dope and crack and weight and who brings in this and that. If you're not in the streets, why are you talking on street business? If you're not from the streets no more, you're a civilian. Why? What do you know what goes on in the streets if you're not in tune with them? You're at comedy shows. What are you talking about, bro? What is you talking about?
Now they done come trying to replace us as the niggas. They got more swag than the nigga. With all this nigga swag.
That's what it is.
And find out you can't speak English. What the fuck?
He mad.
Nigga, you can't even speak English with all this nigga talk.
He mad. He's mad. They might not.
Now, you know, Charleston White goes down paths how he go down his paths. But I don't think the Mexicans that can barely speak English ain't the ones saying the N-word and having the swag and stuff like that. Those individuals talk very clear. You know what I mean? I would think that this is like other Mexicans, Hispanics, Latino that barely can speak. You know, but the ones that's trying to be swagged out and be black and say the N-word, they can speak very well. You know what I mean? Some of them speak very well. They on that cup, on that lean, and on all them drugs just like black people, and they still speaking very clear. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, Charleston White, he always got to do some type of funny and disrespect when he do what he do. So, I'm not going to take that away from what he's doing right now towards Mexicans. I get that too. But I'm not going to also discredit him for his points that he is making on behalf of black people and his own viewing point of his age and generation and his stance. You know what I mean?
Fully speak English, but guess what? They fully speak Spanish.
And you got to know this too, right? For Mexicans, black, whoever you are on earth, sometime when you do certain stuff, everybody's not going to be admired by what you like. You know, they're not going to be thankful for you to admire them. You know, some people going to feel offended by you trying to admire them. That's just the truth in the matter. So that's for anybody coming up. You know what I mean? Kid, young, whatever it is. You know, you might want to mimic your style off basketball or rap, whatever. But that don't necessarily mean a person going to feel pleased, pleased by it, you know? So always keep that in your mind, you know? You can look up to people however you want to, but that don't mean that they're going to accept you for what you're trying to be. Just being honest, whether it's sports, whatever, in these streets, however it go.
They might speak half of English. That's more than you. That's more than you. They speak full-blown Spanish and some English. That's more than you. That's already an advantage. That's already an advantage. This motherfucker is mad. See, he sounds like one of those white folks, right? That be like, oh, Mexicans taking our jobs.
And see, I'm going to speak on that too, how he brought up speaking that Spanish. That's another thing that black people do admire Mexicans on. They are very much about their own culture. You know, they have a good culture. They got their language, they got their own food, they have like a real broad culture. Black people don't really have like this culture of a history, like, you know, like it's not really like what is black people's food, what's black people's language, you know? Black people culture is what we turning into black people culture, you know? Like certain stuff, style, certain ways of dress, fashion, presentation, you know, the way we do things, like he said, swagger, you know, what we dominate, that becomes us. We dominate sports, that becomes like our culture to a strong degree. If you trying to be like an AI motherfucker, if you know, you want to mimic yourself through hip hop and stuff like that, that's still black culture, you know. I ain't gonna get off into all that, what hip hop came from, who started what, who, what, and all that, but that shit is viewed as a black culture. You know what I mean? Especially all them white judges and stuff, when they be putting people in jail behind using their lyrics and stuff like that. All that hip hop police, all that stuff, you know, that's all anti-black. Just being honest, because that's who's dominating in them forms. You know, that's who's making a big old presence in that. So that's the difference. So yeah, people respect that when it comes to Mexicans having their own culture with the Spanish and everything. I'm not saying Charleston White do, but I do, and I know a lot of other blacks do too.
What jobs? You want to go cut down trees? Because I'm a Mexican. I ain't trying to cut down no motherfucking tree. I don't want to cut down no tree. I don't want to mow no lawn. I ain't trying to build no fences. That's not, I don't want to do that. If you guys want to do that, then I guess I understand. But most white folks like to work behind an office and be inside with the AC. You know?
What a disgrace. What a fucking disgrace. So now, nigga, I think any Mexican hollering nigga is a disgrace to SA. And we should be squabbling about that.
And Charleston White is true about that. Because I do know some Mexicans that do frown upon other Mexicans that carry themselves too much like a black person. Or that say the N-word. That is true. It's a person from every race that have a problem with a person from their race who acts too much like a black person or say the N-word. And if a person say that, they opposite of that, then they pretty much telling a lie, man. Because, you know, everybody don't share the same beliefs. And everybody don't come from that same today's time background.
Shut your mouth. We just ain't gonna squabble on nobody, Mr. Mace. In my pocket like a hood rat, like an old ass grandma scared for my life. Like I fell and I can't get up, call 911. But you ain't gonna do a damn thing, shut your mouth. You're over here pumping people up. You ain't gonna do nothing, homie. Get your MacGyver glasses out of there, bro, and go fly your airplane. You ain't gonna do nothing, bro.
Nigga, we ain't building together for SA them and nigga us.
Olivia Rodrigo.
Listen, this motherfucker mad, bro, because Mexicans are taking over right now in music all over the place. And I don't even see it like that. See, motherfuckers that are not raised.
I don't think that Mexicans is taking over, but I believe that they are making more of a presence in hip hop and music all over the place. And it also, they're being more accepted because they're coming off more like a black person. So let's just keep it all factual if we're gonna give credit or discredit. You know what I mean? Let's try to be more on point about the stuff that we say if we're gonna speak on this, you know? But shout out to everybody that's succeeding out here in these streets, man. Mexicans, black, whites, Chinese, Filipinos, Islanders, whatever, you know what I mean? Succeed out here.
Is it racist?
I mean, long as you ain't being disrespectful and leading with disrespect, I ain't got no problem with it, you know? Long as you carry yourself with honor, be an honorable individual, and I ain't got no problem with it.
Motherfuckers that are not into that separation don't see it that way. I don't see it that way. I see it like the homies coming up. And when I mean the homies, it could be anybody. It could be the black homies. It could be the white homies. It could be the Southside homies. You know, the homies to me are people that live their life that are trying to do something, right? I see that as the homie. If I see a black homie winning, that's from the streets, that shit makes me happy. Because I get to see somebody that comes from the struggle make some bread. You feel what I'm saying? Whether he's black or fucking blue, it doesn't matter, bro. But motherfuckers like this are low-key racist and they want to act like they not. You know, it's all about our race, us. And I get it. You gotta do what you gotta do for your color, but don't come out here and brainwash people that are not into that shit. There's people that are not into.
See, I think dude called himself, he got a little too carried away and got out of his character, you know what I mean? I don't even know his character to say he got out of it, but I think he just got too bothered behind Charleston White taking the stance he took a stance in. Out of what he said, I didn't really take no F you Mexicans vibe. I didn't catch like he was trying to even empower blacks, because he don't empower blacks, you know what I'm saying? He just speaks his own belief case by case on whatever the subject matter may be. Because the next clip will be him disrespecting blacks and having blacks in an uproar. You know what I'm saying? So it's not even about that. He's taking it very much out of, I think he's taking it out of context or whatever, but he's entitled to his own belief, and if that's how he feels from what Charleston White delivered, then he's entitled to that. He can do that. I'm not going to say whether he's wrong or right, because that's his feelings and how he believes. However, I feel like he's taking it a little bit left as opposed to dealing with it for what it is. Dude is like, do clown stuff, he tell jokes, he's a disrespectful guy, and he's a man that's he's taking over. You know, like he's taking over on this media space. This is why he's covering Charleston White, and Charleston White ain't gonna cover him. You know what I mean? That's just the truth in the matter. So it is what it is, really. Like, you know.
That, you know, talking about prison, talking about why are we talking about prison? Are we in prison? Or do I have to worry about not sharing my food with a black? I share my studio with a black, you know, because I'm not in prison. Why would I treat them as if I'm in prison? Why would I bring that up? Leave that for whoever's behind the walls. You know, I think he's just jealous because a lot of Mexican rappers are coming up right now. Not only rap, but you know, you got a regional music as far as Mexican music. You know, you got Puerto Ricans, you got.
Now, I'm not gonna say this to be a fact, but I don't think Charleston White is mad that Mexicans are becoming more popular in rap. I think that he has a problem with them becoming more popular in rap by being like a black person. Now, you know, he ain't telling me this personally, so I don't know if that's what he think. But that's what I gathered from everything that he's saying and what I'm catching, you know? Because you can't get mad because another race is succeeding in anything else. You know what I mean? You just can't. Now, if you feel like a person dislike you, but they gonna succeed trying to be like you, then you might have a problem with that. And that's probably what Charleston White feel. Like, I'm not in his DMs. I'm not in his comments. I don't know what people be saying to him or how they treat him. I ain't been in his life. I don't know what people done told him. If a lot of Mexican people told him a lot of disrespectful things, then he got that right to feel like, hey, you trying to be me and you succeed in trying to be me, but you hate me. And that's true. I respect that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to keep it 100. All my life, I have always heard that when it comes to black and Mexican culture. I have always heard that. Black people always say that. Mexicans don't like us, but they love our culture. And how is that possible? It's crazy, but that's just the truth. And, you know, I'm not even trying to, like, be, like, people, you know, whatever. People be racist, people be how they are. That's just how it go, homie. I don't know. Maybe it'll stop one day. Maybe it won't. But all we can do is control our own self individually. As long as we moving with respect and we ain't putting out disrespect, then maybe we can carry enough weight to where everything can be calm or unified. One of the two, but at least it'll be calm. You know what I mean? But sometimes, like, dude making a reaction to Charleston White, that's where the pump up and that's where the problem come in at, because he gets so defense and he's so in one way of defense, and then he's not even really gathering what Charleston White's saying, but he's gathering it from his point of view. And now he's rallying up people and they're gonna get pumped up. So sometimes if we don't want certain stuff to be pumped up, we just can't really shed no light on it at all. That's just the truth in the matter. You feel me? And continue.
All them dudes like the Bad Bunny and shit like that are coming up right now. You know, and it's a beautiful thing, and it shouldn't be no hate. Like, let us get a little bit of shine. Let us do our thing. You know, the black homies have had it for a very.
And you know what? He brought up Bad Bunny. I'm not familiar with it, but I'm familiar with the Bad Bunny dude like Duno and Back on Fig and them. And I guess he like very successful with that stuff, like selling out arenas or something like that. And I don't think he be trying to be like a black rapper, because if he was, I think I'd be more like privy to him. You know what I'm saying? It came across my table. So, you know, got to give him credit for being himself, and he's succeeding in it. But I mean, shout out to everybody, you know what I mean? I mean, everybody, you know, like R.I.P. to Pun, Big Pun, Fat Joe, on down to OGZ, you know, shout out to everybody, you know, shout out to Lil Weirdo and them in San Diego. I mean, you know, long as a person ain't being disrespectful towards blacks, homie, get your money, you know what I'm saying? Or as long as a person ain't being racist overall or at all, get your money. If you out here on some disrespect, I can't, you know, I don't co-sign that.
Very long time. Let us get a year or two, and then it go right back to you guys. Like, let us eat too. You know, I don't see.
But see, if you hear it in his voice and his delivery, he's keeping stuff segregated. He's bringing up the segregation. He's talking about the blacks had it for so many years. Let us get it here. Then it'll get back to y'all. Quit trying to paint that type of picture when it's not a divided situation. It's not about today it belongs to them and tomorrow belongs to them. That's the mentality that's not always great to let other people grasp. You feel me? Because it's about anybody and everything that's popping in life. You feel me? It is what it is. If OGZ and them got a hell of a year in rap and hip hop tomorrow, then OGZ did his shit. You know what I mean? If a rapper if Quality Control whole label took over rap or hip hop for a year, then that's who had it. If No Limit had it, they got it. You know, whoever. If you know, whoever, like, you know, if another Mexican rapper come out tomorrow and he just got the whole wave and he just hitting, then he hitting. But it's not about no black people having the wave or the Mex person tomorrow, because that's where you're gonna come up like not really sounding like you being fair or operating with respect. It's gonna come off like you with the division, you know? Cause it ain't about no black or no Mexican when it comes to succeeding in this rap shit. Now, is that a dominated black person's genre or whatever? Of course it is. It's probably gonna always be. Who knows? But at the same time, that type of talk right there is not what need to be distributed to the youth. Cause you should never wake up and be like, I'm finna put on for my people. It's not about you putting on for your people in these situations, because all you can do is start having a divided line. The moment you start acting like, I'm doing this, now the Mexicans is on. And it's just not that type of case. You can be on, and you can have some Mexicans with you. You can put on for your people. You can represent them, but it's not about you trying to create this big old space to where it's like, yeah, man, I'm running, like the Mexicans is running it now. The blacks running it tomorrow. That's prison talk. He's using prison talk in a form of hip hop or entertaining or the streets. So he didn't want Charleston White to talk like the prison talk, but now he's talking prison talk. He's talking about this, that, and the third.
What's wrong with that? But again, Charleston White is low-key, undercover racist. Listen, I'm gonna kill it.
And you know, I don't even know if he's really a fan of Charleston White or really keep up with Charleston White, because ain't nothing low-key about Charleston White with his racism. Charleston White ain't even racism. Charleston White just like anti whatever he feel like he's anti today or tomorrow. But like I said, how he started that video, Charleston White, he was liking Charleston White when Charleston White disrespects so many blacks. He could see the logic in it then, but he could not see the logic when he's speaking about a Hispanic individual. So he might have to grow up a little bit more, have more of a broader understanding of things that's occurring. And I'm not trying to do no disrespect, so I don't operate like that, and we ain't represent no racism on no type of way. And that's just the case, man. I know I've been having y'all attention on here so long, but that's because we was pretty much doing a reaction to a reaction. But I hope y'all, you know, caught some knowledge in this. Hope it was entertaining for y'all. And keep it 100 for me. Keep it a Benji for me in them comments. Keep it respectful. Let me know how you feel about things. If you can, break it down the best way you can. Try not to put no anger or no hate in them comments. And just keep it a Benji for me. And I thank y'all for tuning in with me. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next one.